Now, the question being asked is same like QTP in Selenium, the web elements property attribute changes dynamically. If yes, then how we handle? Yes, this is again a problem. Sometimes what happens is that you have an element on the page. For example, you have this email on the page, right? The element changes dynamically on the page. The email ID, the name of the element, it changes. You check it once, the name would be email. You check it next time, the name would be email one, right? Something like that. Okay, how do you manage that? I'll talk about it. Okay, right. I will talk about it as we proceed. Okay, so now if I use Firebug and if I try to inspect the element over here, right, this element has got this is the h1 tag. It's got no ID, no name, nothing. Okay, you cannot just identify it. What if I want to extract this text from the page and I want to use it somewhere, right? So how do you extract it? You cannot use by ID or by name over here. So in these situations, right, in these situations, hold on, what you use is you can use XPaths. Now what is an XPath? Uh, like for example, every person has a name. Okay, that name identifies that person. So similarly, every element on a web page has got an XPath. That XPath identifies that person, right? So you have two XPaths. One is complete XPath, one is partial XPath. The complete XPath is also known as absolute XPath. Fine. So out here, how do you calculate? Right. How do you calculate the complete XPath or the absolute XPath? Let me open Gmail and explain you. Look, this is the element in which I am interested. Okay, so if you look at the first tag over here is the HTML tag. Just hold on. So the first tag over here is HTML tag. Inside the HTML tag, you have got many tags. Okay, you have got head tag, body tag, right? You want to go inside the body tag because the body tag contains your element of interest, the element which you want to extract. Okay, right. So what you will do is that you will write like this, that HTML tag, inside the HTML tag you have the body tag, right? Inside the body tag you have this division. This is the division, right? So you will write over here, inside the body tag there is a division tag. Okay, inside the division tag you have got two divisions. This is first division and this is the second division. I am interested to go inside the second division because my final element which I want to reach is this one, and it is inside the second division. So what you will write over here, you will write like this, slash div2. You want to go inside the second division. Okay, inside the second division you have got this particular division, and under that you have the h1 tag. So you will write like this, slash div slash h1. Okay, so this becomes my complete XPath. Okay, or the absolute XPath. It starts from the root of the document. Okay, right, HTML, and it goes till the element in which you are interested. It is very accurate. Okay, and you don't need to calculate it like this. Right, there is an add-on on Firefox known as FirePath with which you can calculate. Okay, you can go to Google and type FirePath Firefox. Okay, so you click on the first link, and you reach here. Okay, and you click on add to Firefox. So FirePath plugin will be added on top of FirePath. Make sure you have installed FirePath already. Okay, once you add it to Firefox, you will see a screen over here, a tab over here, FirePath. If you click on it, this FirePath will open. Okay, and over here you can select the option generate absolute XPath. Okay, right, and now wherever you move your Firebug mouse, okay, you will get the absolute XPath for that element. Even in case of, say, we were discussing Gmail, right? Even if I write over here the email ID field, this is the absolute XPath for the email ID field. For this text, this is the absolute XPath. Okay, right, you can use this. For example, I can use this and I can write over here, for example, web element text equals to driver dot find element by the XPath, and you can specify the absolute XPath. Okay, or this is the heading, and then you can write heading dot get text. So when you run this program, see, I identify my objects in Firefox and run the program in Chrome, and it's able to run it, and it is printing the text. Right, so now this type of complete XPath you can use. It is very accurate. Okay, but there is only one problem with this complete XPath. Right, the problem is it starts from the root of the document. If you use XPaths like these, right, you know, you never know that, the major problem which will come up to you is that if something changes in the website tomorrow, you never know what is going to change, and suppose a developer adds a new tag at the very root of the document, HTML page, right, then all my complete XPaths will just go for a toss. I will have to change every XPath, every complete XPath which I have made, and that will be a problem. Okay, otherwise complete XPaths are very good, they are very accurate. When nothing works, sometimes elements are not recognized on the page, right? And when nothing works, then this complete XPath works. Okay, fine. So now let's talk about partial XPath. Now partial XPath gives you a solution that you can get rid of a complete XPath. A partial XPath will always start with a double slash. Always. Fine. And if you use Firebug, I'll tell you. If you use Firebug and uncheck the option generate absolute XPath, fine. And now if you go and look at the email ID field, it says like this: // star @ID is email. // star means all elements on the page. This XPath means that out of all the elements on the page, get me the element whose ID is email. Or to be more specific or to be more generic, you can put the tag name instead of star. The tag name over here is input. Right? You can write over here, there is an input tag on the page whose ID is email. Right, this is more specific. If I just write / input, this means that all the input tags on the page. So out of all the input tags on the page, get me the input tag whose ID is email. So if you specify this type of XPath as well, this will also work. Okay, right. So I will specify this XPath. Right, and when you run this code, this is also going to give you the right output. You see that it types in the text field. Fine. Okay. Now I'll answer that question. The question being asked is that if two elements on the page have the same ID email, what will happen? Look, when Selenium extracts the objects from the page, it starts from the top left corner to the bottom right. It goes like this. If there are two elements on the page, suppose one is out here and one is out here, both of them have the same ID. Then if you use driver.findElement, by default it will use the first one. It will not use the second one. If you want to use the second one, there are other ways to do it. I will tell you how to do it. Okay, but driver.findElement command, it finds the first web element. You see the documentation? Finds the first web element. If multiple elements have the same ID, they should not have the same ID, but still in case they have, then you will have to use then you have to actually use driver.findElement. Okay, to extract the first element. If you have to extract the second or the third or the fourth element, then there are other ways. Okay. Right. Now, moving ahead. In case of another website. For example, I go to say yahoo.com. Okay, and over here I actually on Yahoo try to find the elements. For example, I try to find the element, say this one, mail. I try to find the XPath, then I get an XPath like this, a partial XPath. This is calculated on the basis that Firebug goes and finds that this is a link. This link has got no ID, nothing. Okay, so it jumps over to this li tag. You can compare it in the XPath as well. This is the link. Then this is the li tag. This li tag has also got no ID, so it jumps over to this ul tag. This ul tag has also not got any ID, so it jumps one tag up into this div tag. And then it finds finally a division tag with an ID, which is this one, and from that it starts making the XPath. Right. So this is how partial XPaths are calculated. Okay. Right. If you look at this search web button or any other link, for example this link, Modi US Congress, right, you will actually see, you'll be able to relate it. The partial XPath over here is starting with this division. Under that there is an OL tag, which is this one, and then the first li tag, and then the link. Right. Fine. In case it doesn't find any element in between with an ID, it will give you a complete XPath. For example, if I go back to Gmail, fine, and I go to the email ID field and I try to investigate the email ID field, I get this XPath. But if I try to investigate this text, one account all of Google, I still get the complete XPath because there is no element between the h1 tag and the HTML tag which has got an ID. So it gives you a complete XPath in this case. Okay, right. So as we proceed with the course, the concept of partial, the concept of complete XPaths, it will be very clear to you. Fine, we will do a lot of examples on this. Today just do one exercise when you go back. Okay, just write a script which will actually simply log you into your Facebook account. Okay, so try to write a script when you go back today which will log you inside your Facebook account. Fine, I am going to